Hi guys. So last year alone, I would have done about half the amount of revenue if I did not run Etsy ads. So last year in 2023, if we do a custom date picker here of 1/01, 2023 and 2023, right? You can see that we spent $40,000 on Etsy ads. That's $137 in revenue, but that's not including what we spent in offsite ads. So if we look at our offsite ads, you can see that an additional $2,000 was paid, another $18,000. So that's over $150,000 of revenue that would have been lost. And I actually just made a video on this. That would have been over $34,000 of profit if I did not invest this $40,000. So that's 34 additional profit dollars I would have not made last year. So last year I made 107 profit. So minus $34,000 is what we would have made if we did not invest in Etsy ads. So with that being said, we know that Etsy ads is really hard for a lot of people. That's why most people avoid it, or they run them and they lose money, but it's really not their fault, because the Etsy ads dashboard doesn't actually give you one metric that actually matters in order to optimize them. So we are really excited because we built a feature that is going to solve this problem. So Profit Tree obviously is giving you an ad cost percentage here, but this ad cost percentage is also something called tacos. It's the total advertising cost of sale in the media buying world. It's not something that we just made up. It's something that Amazon actually just gives people, but Etsy does not. And it's your spend against your total sales. And as you know, your ad cost percentage can make or break your profit percentage. So with this new feature that we have coming out in November, it's going to make your Etsy ads very black and white, because people look at cost per click, they look at ROAS, they look at their impressions and their clicks, and they're getting caught up in things that don't actually matter. The only thing that actually matters for your Etsy ads is, are you making profit after you factor in spend? And unfortunately, with Etsy and its current standing, it doesn't give you that information. We have a new advertisement tab that's coming out next year. So here is some mock-ups of what it's going to look like. So essentially what we are going to give you, just like how on the dashboard we give you a tacos percentage or an ad cost percentage, with our new marketing tab, we're going to give you something called tacos, which is your ad cost percentage, but on your listing level. So if you want to get your ad cost percentage for your store, say less than 10%, so that will increase your profit percentage, right? Then it becomes very black and white. When you're analyzing your tacos, right, we would just turn off any listing that isn't hitting our target tacos. And building this was the effort of hundreds of sellers. We did multiple thought experiments spanning across hundreds of sellers to ultimately figure out what actually matters. And it's no surprise that what we came up with is the same way that 7- and 8-figure Amazon sellers also analyze their own Amazon listings, right? Because the only thing that matters is, what is it costing me versus what revenue is coming out attributed to those clicks, right? So the kicker is our tacos is our spend against our total sales, but our total sales amount is inclusive of revenue from organic traffic, so the listing, like the sales the listing made organically. It's also inclusive of people that clicked on the ad and purchased directly on the listing, but it's also inclusive of people that clicked on the ad and they purchased on a different listing, right? All three of those revenues are included in total sales. And now this gives you the holistic picture of what dollar went in and what came out. And historically, and why you don't just want to rely on ROAS, which is return on ad spend, is because sometimes your ROAS can look bad, but then when you analyze tacos, your tacos percentage actually still makes sense. And so even though the ROAS look like they're not performing well, there is a very direct correlation to those clicks, those purchases, those add to carts, right? The increase in conversion rate that's contributing to that organic growth of that listing as well, right? You could get a purchase today from an ad, that person leaves a 5-star beautiful review with a picture, and now that picture review is converting a bunch of organic sales as well, right? There's this people will argue indirect, but very direct correlation between ad dollars going in and the revenue coming out. And so you would never want to turn off a listing even if the ROAS look bad but the tacos looks good. And now this game of ads becomes very black and white. But for the people that don't like just to look at tacos, there is the ROAS here, and we calculate your break-even point for you, which in order to calculate your break-even ROAS, you need to make sure that you're adding your product costs in your profit tree account so that that break-even point can be calculated properly, or integrating with your print provider. Because to calculate your break-even point or your break-even ROAS, you need to have your product costs input. But overall, this is our new dashboard. We're also showing you other cool insights. We have a lot of ideas for what is to come with this. This is the very first version. But if you're interested, we have a very special offer for you in this email that is not going to be around forever. So, yep, let us know if you have any questions, and please email us back if you need anything at all. Bye, guys.